stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo. Thanks for joining us on another fantastic Friday, September 28th, 2012, where we wrap up another hot week, bringing you another hot stock spotlight. And doing today's stock spotlight is Haas. Haas, welcome back.
Thank you, Stock Sumo. Just happy to be back here on another gorgeous Friday. It's beautiful outside up here in the Twin Cities, my friend.
Good stuff. What do you got going on this weekend?
Tonight I'm actually going to see one of my favorite local bands, Root City here in the Twin Cities. They're a fun band, more of a funk style band, so I'll be jamming. Other than that, I don't really have any plans so far. What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some relaxing myself. Looking forward to Sunday football. Finally got the freaking refs back after the hiatus.
Yeah, that should be good. Hopefully there's some happy people, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people throwing crap at the screen anyways.
Without a doubt. I always like getting out and seeing some live music, though. That'll be fun for you.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen these guys several times.
How did you do in hockey last night?
It was just pickup skate, but I'm still getting back into it. So I was trying to find my breath a few times, but it went pretty well. It's fun. Glad to get back out on the ice. Still sad about the hockey lockout, though. I don't know what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have to pick up another hobby or something.
All right. Well, enough about us lollygagging about this and that. Why don't we get right into the stock action for today? What do we got for today, boss?
All right, sounds good, buddy. Lollygagging's good, though. Lollygagging's good. Still waking up a little bit. Need to warm up the voice. All right. We've had a stock spotlight on this one, I think 2 times in the past, if I remember correctly, about a month or 2 ago. The company is Hollund Industrial Marine Incorporated. The ticker is HIMR. And the management, well, they've actually been making some management changes throughout 2012 here. The new management has put the company in a semi-new direction. And they've been doing some very shareholder-friendly things compared to what this company was before. So I'm not going to go over all the details through all the filings and whatnot that we've done in past spotlights. You can go check out those spotlights and get more details on that. I want to focus more on what this company has been doing just over the last couple of months here, which are these shareholder-friendly things that I'm talking about and the things that potential investors and current investors definitely want to be focusing on. And before I even get started on the company itself, keep in mind that Hollund Industrial Marine management's going to be on a conference call today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And they put that out in the press release, so you can go grab the link to the conference call and all the details of that. Again, that's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a conference call with the company here to go over all of this and much, much more, I'm assuming, based on my conversations with the company. They're going to be talking about anything and everything. And I'm assuming you can ask them direct questions at that time as well. So make sure you go check that out if you're interested in HIMR. So let's just read the first sentence of Pink Sheets here, just to refresh our memories a little bit. Hollund Industrial Marine Incorporated has developed an innovative heavy machine solution for the underwater forest industry called TigerLink. And we'll go check out these websites in a bit. I'm not going to read the rest of this. It's old information. But that just refreshes our memory. Okay, they're involved in the underwater forest industry. Pretty cool. And they have this pretty revolutionary technology for the underwater forest industry, the TigerLink. So let's just go check out their websites briefly before we get into share details and recent news or anything like that. www.hollandindustrial.com. Again, these sites need some updating. I'm assuming they're working on a whole new combined site based on some of the things that they've been doing. But, I mean, you can get some information on Hollund. You can get some information on the TigerLink. Click on Industries right here. and just some potential sectors and areas where this Tiger Link could potentially be useful. I mean, it's just like it's a giant robotic arm. It can spin 360 degrees. It can rotate in various ways that most of the other machinery cannot. But construction, forestry, which is what we're focusing on, underwater logging, that's their main focus right now. But, also potential uses in the mining industry and flood emergency response industry. So lots of potential uses for this, provided they are successful in the underwater forestry market. So what I want to do next is roll over to the actual Tiger Link website. You can just click on the Tiger Link thing up here. You got a little link for a website. Give some details on the actual Tiger Link itself. So basically it's a giant piece of machinery, robotic arm, can basically move any which way. So very useful for underwater forestry. Super, super giant, super, super heavy. About the Tiger Link, you can click on that and get some details on what it can all do, some of the specifications of the technology itself. But again, we've been all over this. You guys get the gist of what a huge, giant robotic arm can do for the underwater forestry industry and why it would be so useful. All right, so 2 websites. We're done with those. Make sure you go check those out. Starting off on Pink Sheets here. Let's just get a general idea of the share structure, how current that is, how current they are in their filings. Over-the-counter Pink current information. It's really good. They weren't over-the-counter Pink current before. And then earlier in 2012 to mid-2012, they started pumping out some filings, quarterly reports, initial disclosure statements, yada, yada. Right now, we're sitting on an authorized share count, 10 billion shares as of April 1st, 2012. More recent, we have an outstanding share count of 5.8 billion shares as of August 24th, 2012. And a key piece of information here, and why this one looks to move a little bit easier than that actual outstanding share count, is because the float's so small, 1.1 billion shares. Significantly smaller than the float in some of the stocks that we've seen run from the trips to Pennyland recently. I'm sure you guys know which stocks those are. So this stock can definitely move if some volume comes in just from that side of things. But this outstanding share count of 5.8 billion shares, definitely a key thing to note about that, and we'll check it out more once we get into the press a little bit, is that that was about 7.5 to 8 billion, not more than about 2 months ago. And so one of the shareholder-friendly things that I mentioned that management is doing is they're significantly reducing the outstanding share count. There's someone who developed the Tiger Link, and they were basically licensing exclusive rights to research and develop the Tiger Link in 2011. And to do that, they obviously have to basically purchase the technology. So they gave this guy a bunch of shares, and that's why the share count was so high, or one of the reasons. And they ended up saying, oh, this is way too expensive to actually, research and develop the Tiger Link ourselves. We would rather focus on marketing this thing overseas, well, not overseas, in South America and also in North America. So we'll give this guy his technology back. We'll take our shares back, and we will start retiring a bunch of shares, get the share structure something that's a little bit more suitable to current and potential investors. And we are going to focus on marketing this Tiger Link. And we are also going to focus on increasing shareholder value. So those have been 2 of the key pieces of information, recent press releases, and what management is focusing on. So let's roll over to the iHub real quick. And I am just on the iHub news page for the most part here. And just kind of, one of the things I like to do is just kind of get a whole picture of the news time frame and timelines that have been going on over the last little bit. And we've been over this several times already as well. But what you're going to see all the way from back in June here, they're talking about, retiring shares and whatnot. And, Hollund Industrial Marine retires over 1 billion shares. This is on August 13th, 2012. Their initial goal was 3.5 billion, as we see on August 1st there. More share reduction news. August 16th, 2012, they already knew they were going to have their shareholder conference call, which is today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. a couple of non-related press releases, and then another 6% of the outstanding shares reduced so far are set to retire. And a key press release I want to go over here is from August 22nd, 2012. We're actually going to roll into this one and take a closer look at it. This North Cal Wood Products company is a company that Hollund Industrial has been in talks with throughout the last few years, actually. And initially, North Cal Woods didn't really want to do business with them because, number one, their share structure was crappy. Number two, they had a bunch of toxic debt on the books. Number three, they were an 8-cent stock that got hammered down related to all this toxic debt to 0001. I mean, if you're North Cal Wood Products and you've been in this business for 10 plus years, you're successful, you work for a bunch of Fortune 500 companies, are you going to want to get affiliated with something like that? No, definitely not. But based on some of the changes that HIMR has been making, new management, new business focus, they're forming teams that are already, selling this TigerLink technology and working on projects in South America and North America. They're really starting to make a name for themselves in this underwater logging industry with this revolutionary TigerLink technology. And so based on these changes, very positive changes for both shareholders and the company that HIMR has been making, finally they inked a more concrete deal, a memorandum of understanding. So let's just go over this briefly. Hollund Industrial Marine Inc. announced today that the company has executed an MOU, memorandum of understanding, with one of the largest remanufacturing lumber companies on the Pacific Coast, North Cal Wood Products Incorporated. This positioning gives Hollund the ability to substantially improve its revenue potential through the extensive sales and distribution outlets North Cal has established over its stellar 30-year history. So I'm sure anyone in their right mind could understand why a partnership like this could be so useful and significant for Hollund Industrial Marine Inc., underwater logging technology, and you have basically a recycled wood company. And with a proven and established sales and distribution network. And not only can, they form a partnership related to some of the Hollund's projects, but North Cal Wood Products Inc., obviously they're going to have some projects of their own, or they're going to, get projects brought to them, and they can just kind of collaborate and work with Hollund Industrial Marine Incorporated on those. So it's kind of a two-way street eventually, hopefully, provided Hollund, lives up to their side of things in the near future here. Just quote, "This relationship marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter for Hollund," stated Peter Meyer, president of Hollund. "So many avenues of possible long-term sustainable revenue and growth have now been opened up to our niche timber harvesting company. We are thankful to North Cal for sticking with us through our evolution. The fact that we have taken this leap of faith speaks volumes to Hollund's truest market potential." There's lots of other good information down here as well. This talks a little bit about North Cal, large portfolio of Fortune 500 clients. So make sure you go check out that press release. I thought there was some other pretty good information that I wanted to go over here. Let's see here. Nope, you can go check out that press release yourself. Let's roll on to even more current press releases here. That was on August 22nd, 2012. August 29th, 2012, Hollund Industrial Marine successfully retires 30% of its issued and outstanding shares. So I mentioned bringing it down from about 7.5 billion to what we just looked at on Pink Sheets, which was about 5.8 billion. And they're not done. 9/6/2012, September 6th, Hollund Industrial Marine continues transparency effort with further communications to shareholders. I want to actually click on this one because I think there's some pretty good tidbits. They're going to do a quarterly shareholder update. It's basically what this press release is saying. Let's scroll down here. Much has occurred over at Hollund over the past 10 months. There have been adjustments to the executive management and evolvement of the business model, elimination of debt, launch of underwater project development teams, reduction of outstanding shares, securing an exclusive technology license, and entering into an extremely favorable relationship with one of the country's most notable reclaimed wood distributors. Peter Meyer suggested that the real excitement is in the details of these events, stating, "We want our shareholders to understand the progressive thought behind each action we take. For example, what is the actual reason for our aggressively attempting to reduce the outstanding share count so substantially? Why is it we believe both the company and its shareholders will benefit so greatly if successful? What is the true value of some of these things that this company is doing right now?" Topics like this will be explained upon the call. He's talking about the conference call here. But the finite details of many of our strategies will be offered within the shareholder update. So definitely want to tune into that conference call. Looks like they're going to provide tons of details on why they're doing all these things, and also just some of the details themselves on some of these deals that they're making with North Cal and some of these other projects that they're working on. So definitely want to tune into that conference call, and I think I'm going to do it myself, naturally. 9/24/2012, official details for the shareholder conference call today. Let's just check that out. Friday, September 28, 2012, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Shareholders located in the U.S. who wish to participate can dial into this toll-free number. For international shareholders, you can dial this number. And there's also going to be a webcast. It looks like the company will have a live webcast of the conference available at this particular link on investorcalendar.com. So all the details in this press release, they released just a couple of days ago, so make sure you check that out. And then just the most latest press release here on September 25th, 2012, company looking to retire an additional 500 million common shares. Also hints that they are looking to get the outstanding share count below 4 billion common shares. So they started at 7.5 before they started making all these changes, retire some shares. They're down to 5.8 billion right now. And that's as of late August 20th or something like that. And they're looking to get it down by another 1.8 billion shares, down to 4 billion outstanding share count. And again, remember, the float is extremely small compared to the outstanding share counts, between 1 and 1.5 billion shares. And that's pretty recent share count there. So this one can definitely move, get some juice in, and they start releasing a bunch of positive news related to a lot of these projects that they're working on. And again, this company was very toxic in the past, and you know, some of the best trading and investment opportunities are when these companies become non-toxic, or you know, the toxic has been eliminated and they finally start bringing some revenues and stuff. But also keep in mind that another negative or potential negative for this company, they don't have any revenues right now. We see a lot of, you know, pink sheet companies a lot of times that you know, they have a really good business model, but they never get to that point of revenues. So hopefully Hollund can start putting out some press related to their projects, some of the deals they're inking, bringing in some revenues and cash flow. That'll also give them the cash to do some other things that I'm sure they want to do. But tune in that conference call today. There's going to be some awesome information in there, and I'm sure they will answer any and all questions from shareholders. And that's about all I got as far as the HIMR spotlight for the day. Again, we've spotlighted this one a couple times, so we've been over a lot of the finite details and all the filings and stuff. I just kind of wanted to do a recap of recent news and stuff. I will pass it over to Sumo for a chart. I would go over DD Amanda. It's been pretty quiet on DD Amanda lately, and I think we'd get more use out of actually looking at the chart. Stock Sumo. Hit it.
Excellent job, Haas. Thank you very much. Okay, looking at this chart, a couple of good points, couple of bad points. Let's start with the ugly and we'll move to the good looking stuff. The ugly thing is is yesterday we hit a new low and lost our support. Yesterday it traded as low as 0006. Now this 0007 was acting as a key level of support. Aside from that, this 0008 was a key level of support. Notice that 0008 was a key level of support. It had bounced off of that level, which right here pulled back after the big run. I believe this was the first time we spotlighted it. And it had the big run, pulled back, bounced off the 50-day moving average, had a nice bounce. And then notice that we lost this 50-day support right here. And yesterday was another new low since the beginning of August. So I'd like to see the stock hold support at trip 8 or trip 7 at least. And on the flip side, I want to see it break resistance, and it's been having some resistance at trip 9 and 001, and coincidentally that's the 20-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. So those are going to be our key levels of resistance. These are our key levels of support. Trip 6 was yesterday's low. Then you got trip 7 and trip 8. We want to see these levels hold as support. We want to see resistance broken to the upside. Okay, the good part about this chart is it's been under consolidation and the indicators are looking ready to turn around. Notice that the PPO has been descending, heading down here, but these lines are pretty close. They wanted to converge right here. We almost had a cross. However, it didn't cross there. They're still going down. I'd like to see these lines hook up, cross over. That'll be a bullish signal, just like what the slow stow is doing right now. You can see that the slow stow is hooking up right here. It's ready to cross. It looks like it's going to turn up. I'd like to see the slow stow cross right here. That'll be a bullish confirmation. And I'd like to see the slow stow get above the 50 MA overlay. I'd like to see that PPO crossover. I'd like to see it hold above the 50 MA overlay. I'm not sure if it's going to do that. It looks like the PPO is starting to dip below that 50 MA overlay. I want to see it turn around here and hook up, crossover. That'll be a good sign. I'd like to see the volume pick up. Notice the last time we had some big volume, beginning of August, big volume, sent the stock on a nice run. Volume's tapered off a bit. I'd like to see the big volume come back into the stock. I'd like to see it break above resistance and some of these other indicators turn around for us. But that's what I got for the HIMR chart.
Excellent job, sir. All right, folks. Again, check out all the spotlights, the information. Lots of good stuff going on with the company in the near past and hopefully in the near future here. And for more details on that, tune into that 2 p.m. Eastern conference call. You can go check out the details of that in the press release. Perfect links to that. So,
if you want to find those past spotlights that we've done, you can either go search for them on Investors Hub. Just do a search for videos and type in HIMR, and you can find them that way. You can stop by our message board on Investors Hub or stop by our website, stocktraderstalk.com.
Well, without further ado, market's going to open in about 4 minutes, so we will let you get to your trading day. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for tuning in. So long.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.